clear of the closing doors, please.
All right, here we go. We are not live on Subway Sports Talk. My name is Peter Kennedy, and I'm your host. Thank you so much, as always, for tuning in to SST on Apple Podcast app, Spotify, and on YouTube. Joining me today, my man, COC, the big COC. We are ready to talk Super Bowl, finally. It's a long 2 weeks in between the AFC, NFC championships and the Super Bowl, where it's like, all right, how much Super Bowl do I need to consume? How much can I overthink this one game where we know all the storylines for 2 full weeks? But now, as we approach actual Super Bowl Sunday, it's time to fire up the sports books, get the picks, get the props, get the parlays. Who better to do so with than Cody O'Connor? And of course, we might throw in a little NBA because that's what we do.
Little last game of the year, right? Can't hold anything back this weekend. That's the motto of all Super Bowl plays to me. So while I haven't looked too much because I usually do my gambling the day of or maybe the day before, I'm excited to talk it through with you and at least give myself an idea. Even if I don't take these things tonight, maybe it'll help clear up what I want to do with this game with you.
Now, I totally agree with you. The one thing that I will add that I do with the NFL, with the Super Bowl bets is the day of the NFC and AFC championship, like championship weekend, whatever. The day that ends, I usually look and throw in a few $5 fun guys, if you will. Like I'll throw in, 2 first touchdowns or a 2+ touchdown score bet or an exact score, just like shoot from the hip, fire without thinking. Because I think at some point in this week, I've spoken myself into and out of 5 different bets, 5 different times, 5 different ways. You know what I mean, Cody? Like that's how I feel about this. So like on that Sunday night or on that Monday, right after the AFC NFC championship, like I'll throw in a few little $5 fun guys and then I won't even look at it. And now today I dove back in and started looking at some stuff and got busy. Cause I truly think having this much time to think about one game, like I put myself in a freaking pretzel, Cody. Like the way I start thinking like, oh, the Seahawks, I think might be the better team, but the Patriots have burned me all year and I just like go in a loop all on myself like every day. So I can't do too much until now. Now I'm ready to roll.
It's really easy like day by day to talk yourself into and out of like, but I try to remember my first thought when the championship games ended and I need to take my own advice. And my first thought was the Seahawks are the better team. Mm-hmm. They're the team you should be backing in some capacity this weekend. Like, however I choose to do it, that's fine. But like sometimes I get caught up in the 4.5. Oh, I could buy that easily to 8.5. 8.5 looks really good, much better than the money line. And you end up having a team, that ends up losing by 2 scores, and you're like, why didn't I just take the side I actually liked? So, the Pats. Again, I could talk myself into it. I'm not like super high on Seattle, but the more I go back and forth, that's all I'm going to do is go back and forth. But I do the same. The only thing I see the night of, I look at the game line right away and I see what's the spread going to be. And then I pretty much don't look at it until you text me for a podcast on a Tuesday night. And I go, oh, all right, it's time to look at
Let's lock in
the books
here.
again.
Yeah. Now, one other thing I'll add, because we're about to talk NBA. When you're gambling in between the NFC AFC championship game, I don't know why I keep saying it like that. Like with the AFC, NFC, I keep doing both. I don't know why. I've done that 4 times now. The championship games, in between then and the Super Bowl, do you gamble with a little different fortitude? Do you gamble with a little different energy, trying to build up that balance for Super Bowl Sunday to really unleash the beast? Or do you just continue to lose and then have to reinsert the balance on Sunday morning?
Yeah, I definitely don't change it up. I just keep firing straight from the hip. Like you said, like Thunder played tonight, the Knicks play tonight. What do I do when they play? I place parlays. Like tomorrow, neither of them are playing, I think. Or maybe, actually, I think OKC's on back-to-back. But point is,
the Knicks also play tomorrow, by the way. The Knicks play the Nuggets on Wednesday.
Oh, is it double back-to-back? Okay.
Yeah.
So then Thursday, neither of them play because I've been planning out like, what am I going to watch on these nights,
Right.
Monday night, nothing on. Miracle documentary, unbelievable on Netflix. Highly recommend if anyone's a fan. But
I love that.
So I have been planning. So no, my gambling, it's kind of similar. Like I just see things I want to take. Tonight's King of the Court. What am I not going to take King of the Court?
Of course.
Like,
who'd you take? I took on 3, 2, 1. Okay. Tyrese Maxey.
Jalen Johnson.
Oh wow, there you go. All right, Jalen Johnson just won my bet for me though.
I do need Philly though because I took an under for OKC and Orlando, and then I took Philly once on the money line because I could boost it, and then once on the 4.5 point spread because I thought I know no Embiid, but boy, that's crazy without just Steph Curry's not playing. I mean, you're going to give me 4.5 points,
Right?
like the Warriors
Yeah.
without Steph, so went for
Easy.
it.
I love it. All right, let's talk some NBA though, because we're gonna get Super Bowl heavy in about 5-6 minutes here. You like how I
Start the
gave
clock.
ourselves 5 or 6 minutes because we won't
Yeah.
go over that.
And
but
you
we'll get,
also refuse to say 6-7 minutes because
yes,
that's been taken out of our vocabulary.
You try not to, and then you say it, and you go. Ah. See, now I've been on paternity leave for the past few weeks here, so I haven't been around any high school students for the past few weeks, and I've said 6-7 in peace. I say it around my parents; they have no idea. My little guy, my 5-month-old, he just smiles no matter what. I say poo poo pee pee poo poo, and he cracks up.
Now, when you say it, do your hands accidentally go? Like, do you feel your hands going when you do it?
It happens. It's subliminal at this point. But yeah, let's talk some NBA here for a few minutes because I think there's a few topics I'd like to touch on that are interesting. And again, we'll go deep dive into Super Bowl stuff in a little while. And let's start off with this trade, Cody. I wanted to start off with the Knicks, but this trade just happened that is mind-boggling. There's two trades actually that happened that tangentially affect, or maybe a little more than tangentially affect, the New York Knicks here. First and foremost, James Harden for Darius Garland. So Harden goes to Cleveland, Garland to the Clippers. And then you have Vucevic going to Boston. And now I forget, was that a 3-team deal? Did Simons go to, it was a 3-teamer, right? That was a more complicated vehicle. Simons didn't go to Chicago. Simons went somewhere else.
I'm looking at it now. But Vucevic, I mean, the big point of it was that Vucevic had gone to Boston.
Simons is gone and Vucevic is in Boston.
Yeah, they gave something up with Simons. I mean, I know they liked Simons over there and his scoring and his ability to handle the ball, but they needed a big.
Yeah,
so trying to find the trade.
While you looked it up, I'll just continue on for a second here. So the Harden for Garland trade is a bizarre one. We had our boy Marky Shen Lugan in our chat hypothesize that the Clippers know a Kawhi Leonard suspension is coming because of the illegal salary dump through a fake advertiser. I don't know if that's true. That might be bogus. That might be something real. I think that's probably more of a goof than reality, but maybe not. Whatever. But on the surface of Harden for Garland, that feels like everyone's kind of losing in the short term. But did the Clippers just roll this one in the long term? Because I don't know about you, Cody. I still like Darius Garland. I think he's still got a lot to give. He's 11 years younger than James Harden.
Yeah, I just don't really, like, from either side, I just don't really understand the trade. Like, I'm still trying to wrap my head around why, like, the Clippers were one of the best teams in the NBA since, like, early mid-December, and granted, they dug themselves such a hole, but all you have to do is make the play-in, give yourself a chance. Like, that's where they were going to be anyway. So it was odd, like, the timing of that. You got to kind of think, like, did Harden and the Clippers have some type of rift in the relationship? Was there something that went on? Darius Garland is I mean, Harden is kind of the opposite. As Garland's very in and out of the lineup, like his whole career. He's playing, he's not playing. He's hard to rely on.
Harden plays like 80 games every year.
And Harden plays I mean, say what you want about the guy. He plays literally every day throughout his entire career. Like, that's one of the big things about Harden. So I don't know, like, does it make Cleveland a better team this year? Now in the middle of the season, you've got to figure out that new chemistry. Like, I'm excited to see a little Harden and Evan Mobley action. Like, I think that'll be a fun pick and roll game, a fun 2-man. I just don't know. I don't have a definitive, like, one side won the trade or one side definitely got better from this.
Well, in the short term, I think it's a wash of, like, I don't know if I think they could both be losers in this trade. In the long term, like, Garland's got so much good basketball in him left. Like, he's so young. He's proven to be a really effective player. Like, he's proven to be a near all-star level guard over and over again when he's healthy, that could be that guy. Harden has been a consistent number guy. Like, he's putting up great numbers. He's leading efficient offenses. He is leading to playoff appearances and playoff blunders, right? And that's the big question mark to me. Like, the Cavs are fighting playoff woes. They're fighting ghosts of their past playoff performances. And maybe NBA teams just don't believe in this guy can't do it in the playoffs. But James Harden is not the guy you call when you need to flip the switch in the playoffs. So, Cody, where do you land on that? I've been a long time Harden truther, if you will, but I've had to kind of give up that position because of the playoff woes. Is that something you think NBA teams don't believe in? Like, how do you, as the Cleveland Cavaliers, who have been going at this for great regular season after great regular season to no playoff success, say, yeah, let's bring in Harden?
Maybe that's like the Cavs' philosophy. They're like, hey, we're going to be really good in the regular season and disappoint in the playoffs, and like let's maximize that potential of ours. Like that's what we do. Let's be those guys. So like they're really leaning into it, I guess. I really don't get it because like if you're going to get rid of Garland or you want to trade Garland, he's the type of guy that can yield you a decent return. So you trade for James Harden. If you're doing that, everyone's got to be thinking, all right, then we think we can win with James Harden, right? Like you don't trade for him if you don't think that. And you just pointed it out perfectly. Like I'm also a huge Harden guy. Always was a defender. Always would hype him up. Always would back him. But his playoff resume speaks for itself. Like, it's impossible, even as the biggest Harden fan, to try to defend what he's done in the playoffs.
Like you could go out and pick out little spots of like, oh, defend him about this particular instance or that particular instance over the course of his career. But now we're talking about an MVP candidate, right? He's not that anymore. He's not even an all-star anymore. And he's still incredibly effective. Like he's not a guy who's doing nothing for you out there on the court, obviously, but it is hard to understand the Cavs' perspective here. Like, but what else was out there would be the next question. If you're trying to move off Garland and you're trying to stay relevant right now, is 3 picks and a swap gonna really move the needle for a team that still believes they can win the Eastern Conference this year, right? Yeah, and they're playing better ball lately too. So who is the guy that they go for? Do they just try to get cheaper and get Anthony Simons? Like, is Simons just like a poor man's Garland who's less of a passer, more of a shooter? Like, I don't know what the other option was, which is why if I'm Cleveland, I would have probably just continued running out Garland, hoping he gets healthy at the right time. But and now I'll circle the Knicks in here because we already spent too much time on this particular trade. Circling the Knicks in here, I feel like this is a win for the Knicks. Like, are you more scared of Cleveland now? I don't think so. Like maybe you can argue that, oh, Mitchell's the guy who's going to take all the big shots, so Harden can just be a point guard in the playoffs. Sure. But as a Knicks fan, I'm like, I'm not more scared of Cleveland now than I was before.
That was the case with Kawhi and the Clippers last year, and Harden still found a way to be wildly disappointing in Game 7. Like, in a great series against Denver.
Amazing, underrated series.
Yeah, very forgotten about because it's round 1. It was unbelievable. But, like, he found a way, again, to majorly disappoint. There's no point that should say to you, he's not going to be that. So, yeah, if I'm a Knicks fan or a Celtics fan or a Pistons fan, I'm saying, all right, I'm a little less afraid of Cleveland after this. And then in the West, I don't know. I just don't get the... Actually, I probably make it more sense of the Clippers because I don't know what the heck's going to go on. So you might as well get a young asset rather than one that's older.
Let me be honest. I think the Clippers won this trade.
Yeah, I suppose that's true. Yeah, you're right because they didn't even have to attach any picks to it.
Right.
To get Darius Garland.
1 for 1. Very rare one.
They'll have to pay him, and I guess that's part of the thinking.
Yeah, but you know what? Like you got to pay another star, and they don't have another one. So boom, could pay Garland. He's a really good freaking player. All right, let's move to Boston really quick. So Vucevic is in. You have the details on that actually now?
I do. So it's way more straight up than we thought. It's Simons and a second for Vucevic and a second. There was another trade. There was a trade earlier today.
Minnesota, Detroit, something and like Chicago.
That. Oh, here it is. Yes, Jaden Ivan and Mike Conley to Bulls. Pistons got Herter and Dario, and the Wolves got a pick swap, it looks like.
Yeah, I was combining those trades.
You know what? I think it's those two teams and the Wolves pick swap is involved, and that's probably why it looks so funky.
Interesting. All right, so that's why my brain was
that one doesn't matter
in a pretzel there for a second.
It's actually not.
So off to the Celtics here. Celtics have been overachieving to some people's eyes this year. I kind of expect them to be pretty damn competitive this year without Tatum. Maybe not this high in the standings or this consistently good, but I expect them to be a very, very legit and playoff level team even before the season. So they're doing that and then some. and they felt like they needed a big. Now, Simons has been effective for them off the bench, and he kind of does what Simons does, which is get hot and score, attack the basket, make some decent passes here and there, but they needed to get bigger. My question to you, Cody, Nikola Vucevic has been a guy who has put up numbers for his career, scores a decent bit of points, can shoot the three ball, which will fit well with Boston. He'll just let it rip from three. He rebounds the hell out of the ball. He is a bit of a defensive liability, which I don't think is a great fit for them, because even go back to Luke Cornett last year, guy was a monster in the paint, protecting the rim. Is Vucevic a proper upgrade for the Celtics that's going to move the needle for you, Cody?
It's not a bad move. They needed a big and a big body. Like, he's not a rim protector. He's not a great defensive player. Like, if you switch him out to the perimeter, he's going to get cooked. But he's a guy that you can dish the ball to and count on from 15 feet. Like, he can rebound the hell out of the ball, like you said. He's just a big body that I think they kind of lacked, unless you really like Luka Garza, which I think is kind of like the younger version of Nikola Vucevic right now. Like,
not as prolific on offense and just as bad on defense.
Like slow-footed, but it's like, oh, he could maybe get hot. I don't know. But I do like the move. I don't know if losing Anthony Simons is going to be felt by them, like by their backcourt. But, you got a Derek White, you got Peyton Pritchard, you've got obviously Jaylen Brown and the level he's playing at. So,
right.
I think it's an upgrade for them.
If you listen to Bill Simmons, which I know you and I do, he's been banging the drum of like the rebounding is going to kill them. And that's one of the things they miss from Tatum so much, amongst the obvious stuff they miss from Jason Tatum, but he is a really good rebounder for his position. Vucevic is a good rebounder. Listen to this, Cody. In NBA history, if I told you over or under number 11.5 all-time double-doubles, where do you think Nikola Vucevic is? Over or under 11.5 all-time?
Okay, I say over because you said a weird number. Under because, like, why else would you ask me the question? But I'll go over. I'm going to say he's like 13th.
He's 11th. I put the number right on the spot. Those damn sports books, Cody, they always get it right on the number.
I didn't know PK was also that tapped into the sports book just to screw me again.
So you start reading down this list. It's actually hilarious. It's literally most double-doubles of all time. Tim Duncan, Karl Malone, Hakeem Olajuwon, Dwight Howard, Kevin Garnett, Shaq, John Stockton, Charles Barkley, LeBron James, Patrick Ewing, Nikola Vucevic.
How about John Stockton squeezing his way in there? How impressive is that?
It is pretty impressive. He also played forever.
All right, come on.
But respectfully. And then if you go to the double-doubles per game, Vucevic is 14th per game, double-double. So he's even in that, like, he's in the top 15 per game. So it's not like an accumulation thing simply for him. Like, you go per game and you got Magic Johnson, Jokic, Barkley, Karl-Anthony Towns, shout out, Joel Embiid, Hakeem Olajuwon, like, still amazing names. And then, Sabonis is in there, but then like Nikola Vucevic, which is it is kind of crazy. But when you see a Boston Celtics team that needs to upgrade their rebounding, like, okay, boom, maybe that does something. But again, let me bring back the Knicks fan angle. Am I more scared of the Celtics now with Nikola Vucevic than I was before? And my answer is no, Cody. I'm not. I'm not scared of Nikola Vucevic. I'm maybe scared of him on like a Tuesday night in February, but I'm not scared of Nikola Vucevic in a playoff series.
Yeah, but you're not going into Boston thinking, all right, we got to deal with Nikola Vucevic tonight. Like, that's not what you'd be thinking going into.
I was scared of Porzingis in the playoffs.
Yeah, but you weren't going to have gone into that series thinking about Anthony Simons, right? So the upgrade question is between those two, right?
Sure.
Is that fair
you're
to
right.
say?
I guess Vooch can get just as hot as Simons, and obviously has a more consistent piece of the pie. Simons is going to be off the bench, like,
maybe a better
microwave.
piece for that. We'll see how they work. I mean, still going to find out whether or not they get Tatum back. So there's a ton of question marks about Boston and their ceiling.
All right. So it sounds like we both respect the move. You like it maybe a little more than I. I just think it's not a massive swing in either direction. It's definitely not a bad move for the Celtics by any means.
I
don't
see it being
a
game
breaker
swing either.
Yeah. And it's definitely not a negative either. All right. The New York Knicks, Cody, have seemed to find something again. So let me ask you this question and bring our favorite baseball term into it. Were the Knicks in the NBA equivalent of the dog days of summer? Were they in the what days of winter? Is there an equivalent to dog days of summer about the cold winters?
No,
Because
it's
it
just
seems
cold
like
as hell out.
yeah,
That's it. It
it's
sucks
cold as hell.
outside.
And like New York has been brutal. The Northeast
Yeah.
has been brutal. A lot of teams over that like New Year's Day through the end of January were like all 5-5. Like if you looked at it on the standings on ESPN, you go to the last 10, it's like, oh, the entire league, even the Thunder aren't doing that great right now. Like, wait, what's happening right now? And then you look back now, the Knicks have won 7 in a row. They're back in second place in the Eastern Conference. Do you think that the reality of the New York Knicks, Cody, is more aligned with their slump from a few weeks ago or their hot streak that they're currently on?
Good question. I really don't know, Pete. Like, I really, really don't know. But like you said it, like again, the two teams I watch the most, Knicks and Thunder. The Thunder fell into the same type of lull. Like they looked like hell for a couple weeks, and it's like, whoa, what's going on here? So like, it's definitely possible that that's the case with the Knicks. I think it's fair for Knicks fans and for people wondering, like, was this coaching decision remove the best one? Like, I think it's fair to already wonder that because they are a different looking team. Like, they don't seem to have the same identity. And I'll say this, Pete, like, I'm really, really disappointed in what the moves this offseason have turned out to be because I know I was really high on Yabusele. I know we were both pretty high on Jordan Clarkson, and like they're essentially non-contributors. Like part of this win streak and part of one of the things that people keep talking about is how Jordan Clarkson's not part of the lineup. And it's like, oh, okay, like is that really truly a factor? So like that's a little bit, I don't know, scary to me. Tyler Kolek's getting like spottier minutes, and I really liked Tyler Kolek minutes, so it was weird to see him like seemingly out of the rotation for a while, at least from what I was watching. Maybe I missed a little bit, but it seemed like he was almost out of the rotation before last game or maybe the game before that. So I don't know how to answer that just yet, Pete. I think I need more evidence, and I know that's a cop-out, but I really think because the expectation is at least to win the East. It's not like are they going to make – that's gone. Those days are gone. Similar to how we feel with the Mets. Like, that's just not the case right now. So I don't know what their real ceiling is.
So let me tell you this. So the New York Knicks over the last 10 games, right? They are 7-3. So they won 7 in a row. They actually lost 4 in a row before that, but I'm just doing the last 10 because that's the easiest way to sort this thing. Over the last 10 games, Cody, their defensive rating is second best in the league. It goes Detroit, New York Knicks, Oklahoma City Thunder. So whatever they were doing piss poor during that slump from New Year's Day, or New Year's Eve, I should say, where they lost a 19-point lead to San Antonio and then lost, I think it was 9 out of 13 or something like that. 9 out of 11, maybe something like that. Since then, they are a top 5 defense in the NBA. And I think when you ask yourself, is that real? Are they actually that good of a defense? You have to look at who they played. And in that stretch, they have Golden State, Phoenix, Dallas, Brooklyn, Philly, Sacramento, Toronto, Portland, the Lakers, and Washington. Obviously, some absolute stinkers in there, right? Like, no one is impressed with the Knicks shutting down Washington or Sacramento or Brooklyn, who scored 66 points in a game. So obviously, those numbers are going to be a little swayed because of it. But the win against Philly, at Philly on a Saturday, was huge. Crushing Toronto in the fashion that they did, where they were down at half and then dominated the second half. You know, handling the Lakers. Portland's not a bad team this year. So, you know, there for all the stinkers, there's some good teams in there. So them getting from 18th in the NBA in defensive rating, and now they're 12th for the full year, and they're top 3 over the last 10 games. Does that mean anything to you, or is that a little bit of scheduling?
It doesn't mean nothing because it means that they're responding to a really, really tough stretch, and they're responding in like the way you'd want to see them, like putting it, not just saying it, but really putting the effort there on the defensive side and it actually starting on that side of the floor and them getting more involved. This like essentially different role for Cat where he's like not looking to score, but really doing a lot of the other things where it's just like, it's kind of like a pleasure to watch and be like, all right, you're buying into this in whatever capacity it is, because there's been a lot of rumors and talks and conversations. and like 6 points. Like he's not
Right.
even like looking to shoot much. He's just kind of doing a lot of the dirty work, which obviously goes a long way.
Cody,
And then
you know what I'm thinking right now as you're saying this? Cat's like on Twitter, just reading all the Knicks fans just loving Mitchell Robinson. And he's like, what if I just like pretended to be Mitch for a few games?
like anyone can do that.
Like,
He's
wait,
like, watch, guys.
What if I just rebounded and like only dunked when I was wide open? Like, would they like me more?
Yeah.
Like, that's
he is doing a great
mindset.
Mitch impression, and that's exactly who I was going to bring up is Mitch.
Yeah,
like
I could tell.
And you had said it too, like, and I thought the same thing. I almost tweeted it. I haven't been on the SST account for a while, but I almost went in and just was like jokingly gonna do the. Oh, are they actually better without Cat right now? Like, is Mitch actually is he the better player? Should he be starting? Obviously, it's not true, but he's been that good.
Is Mitch an all-star? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
dude, there were nights where it was like, is he the only reason to watch?
Dude,
like, is he the most enjoyable?
I made a TikTok about it a week ago, and people are still popping up on that TikTok and commenting and whatnot, being like, say it louder. Someone commented that today, like, say it louder. You know, Knicks fans who watch this team over and over again, especially in that stretch where they were struggling, you see Mitch just grind his ass off for offensive rebounds, you know, affecting all the paint shots and defensive rebounding and blocking shots and all that stuff. It's like, wow, like this dude, despite, you know, playing every other game because his freaking ankle management, et cetera, and starting the year on a minutes limit and this and that, like he is grinding. He is looking fantastic. He is having an outsized impact on this team. And there's advanced metrics about when Brunson and Mitch are on the floor together, their like net rating is like one of the best in the NBA right now. So like his impact is very legitimate and real. So I do appreciate all the Mitch love. Cody, I have one more question for you. The next 3 games.
5-minute basketball segment.
I meant 5 minutes per topic, right? Which is probably still over. The next 3 games. We talked about Denver on Wednesday night. Then they're at Detroit Friday, at Boston on Sunday, on Super Bowl Sunday, afternoon game, 12:30.
Yes, 12:30. I checked ahead. I'm like, oh, that's awesome.
Where
like,
all the New England fans are obviously locked in for the Patriots in the Super Bowl. How much do you want to take away from these 3 games here for the New York Knicks? Like, do you think they need to get 2 out of 3 or something to that effect?
I don't know if Knicks fans would agree with me here. I think they have to look far better against Detroit. Like, they certainly can't go play the team they're actually looking up at right now and just get smoked twice. And, like, again, come June or May, whatever, like, maybe that won't matter. But what I want to see over these 3 games, it doesn't have to be any certain record. I think it's just they're playing the same style. They're playing their brand of basketball. They're competing. They're hanging with them. And, like, they have an answer for what Detroit did to them last time. That's what I want to see.
Right. Yeah, Detroit punked them last time they met, and that was in Detroit, I believe, as well. Am I freezing?
Not on my end, buddy.
My screen is frozen, but I guess I'm still recording at a fine quality here. Can you hear me still?
Wonderful clock. Yeah, fantastic.
Wow. Look at that. Well, I can't scroll on my screen because my screen's frozen, but I believe it was at Detroit. Then they have them at home in a few weeks. And I think, like, you're right, Cody. Obviously, they played each other in the playoffs last year, and that side of it matters because the Knicks did end up winning the race, but that was a hard-fought race last year, and now they're ahead of you in this race.
Yeah.
You know, and those things, I know last year, it doesn't really matter, but from a perspective of, like, proving your worth, proving the concept of this new coach and this new system and et cetera, like, you have to beat the big dogs, and Detroit and Boston are the 2 big dogs with you right now in the top 3. And I think you got to win 2 out of 3 of these. And Jokic is back. So playing Denver's no joke.
Yeah. And it's a good little litmus test. It's a good 3 games to say we are trying to be one of the best teams in the league. Let's see how we compare to these 3 teams in the league. You don't want to overreact to them, but you'd like to see good basketball against really good teams.
Yeah, exactly. All right, I'm feeling pretty good. By the way, Mohamed Diarra got hurt for the Knicks today. He was finding himself a little role on this team. So I want to hope that he gets healthy and hopefully see him in the rotation because he was doing a lot of good things. He has a good size. He can shoot a little bit. He was making plays today before he got hurt, passing the ball really well. So I want to see some positive Mo Diarra news coming up. All right, Cody, 30 minutes in, perfect time to finally get to the crux of our conversation here, Cody. And we'll have to table our Thunder talk until next week, if that's okay.
Fine by me. It's there's nothing too exciting going on over in Oklahoma City.
You might be happier to not talk about them right now, if we're being honest.
Yeah, they're a little weird.
They're fine
right now.
They're fine. You know, they're totally fine. It's not a big deal. They are 6-4 in their last 10, which would be a normal mass stretch for really good teams. And it's like, oh my God, what's wrong with the Thunder? They are still the best team by a million in the NBA.
I don't think by a million, but that's okay. Let's move on.
From a statistical perspective, they have a almost double better point differential than the second best team in the league. That's almost a million. It's pretty much a million, but yeah, you're right. I see what you're saying. Anyways, the Super Bowl, Cody, is on Sunday, and it is the New England Patriots and the Seattle Seahawks. A matchup no one expected before the season, obviously. A matchup no one truly expected, I think, even entering the playoffs. Now, I want to ask you, from a specific storyline perspective, what is the biggest storyline to you? Is it the Patriots' new dynasty possibilities with Drake May and Mike Vrabel, or is it the Sam Darnold slaying ghosts and becoming a Super Bowl winning quarterback with the Seahawks team that is very fast and aggressive and fun to watch?
I think it's the Sam Darnold career arc. I really do. Like the Patriots win, that will be the obvious headlines and all that, but I think going in and leading up and the bigger storyline if they win is like, you know, this guy that was cast off, that was cast aside, that, you know, was a top 3 pick and it didn't work out with the Jets, which, you know, shocking, but sorry guys. You know, I know Zinni and I know they're going to give me crap for that, but whatever. I mean, he goes to the Niners, he goes to the Panthers, he goes to backup, you know, he's supposed to be the backup with Minnesota, and then J.J. McCarthy's hurt, and he has an unbelievable year, but he kind of chokes and craps the bed the last couple of weeks, and it's like, that wasn't good enough. And I think, like, all of us were like, all right, like, that's a fine move for Seattle, but I don't think anyone's, like, socks were knocked off by it and go, oh, Seattle's now this favorite. And he was pretty good, and then he has, like, the game of his life in the conference championship when they absolutely needed all of it, and it's like, holy crap, like, this is really, like, unbelievable storybook stuff, and I think that's, to me, the overwhelming dominant headline.
Well, I saw a big joke tweet going around about if Sam Darnold beats the Patriots in the Super Bowl, was he actually worth the 3rd pick for the New York Jets?
I have seen that.
And it's like, honestly, it's not crazy. It's kind of funny.
It is a little Jets Super Bowl-y.
It is a little bit. And Sam Darnold's a guy who I've always liked. You know, I wanted him for the Giants that year. And I mean, I'm not just saying that. Like, I have 17 years, not 17 years. I have 8 years of podcasts here at this point of proof, but I don't need to defend myself. I liked Sam. And then I was like, damn, maybe he sucks. We're all stupid. We can't judge quarterbacks. He sucks. The Jets suck. Move on. He's a backup. Oh, he's good. He's still falling on his face. At this point in time, Cody, Sam Darnold is on a 2-year stretch that, like, the best quarterbacks in NFL history would be jealous of, right? Back-to-back 14-win seasons. Yeah, he fell short in last year's playoffs, but right now he's in the Super Bowl. And if he wins, it's like looking like a real thing. Not just like some flash in the pan that a team won with him / Trent Dilfer type beat, right? Like, it's not a Trent Dilfer type beat right now. And respectfully to Trent Dilfer, I love Trent Dilfer as a personality, at least. So this is a very legitimate Sam Darnold run at this point, and that Rams game was something that he needed to get off his shoulders, if you will. Like, that performance, he needed that to say, hey, I'm not along for the ride, I'm steering the ship type of thing. And the reason why I would agree with you that the Seahawks or the Darnold and Seahawks is the bigger storyline is because if the Patriots lose, you can say to yourself, hey, they're a year ahead of schedule. They got cap space. They still don't have any great receivers right now for Drake May. They got ways to improve this team immensely. Vrabel has the infrastructure to continue to build, and you will be hearing from this team for a decade, right? Like, that is easy, obvious, no matter what. Even if Drake May sucks because he has a shoulder thing going on and is a second-year quarterback, all the reasons, right? Not that I think he will. I'm just saying if Sam Darnold falls on his face, Cody, are the Seahawks considering a different quarterback by next year? I don't think so.
Wow.
I don't think so.
Could
But
you
I'm just
imagine?
saying. I'm just saying. It's not insane to believe
Right.
that Sam Darnold isn't the next 6 years of a franchise if he falls on his face in the Super Bowl and then doesn't do anything next year. Like, that is a possibility, which makes the Seahawks winning, I think, the more important, bigger storyline.
Yeah, like could he not win this year, suck next year, and be out of a job the year after? Like, could that
Right.
not
Like,
also
if he's
be?
mediocre next year, are
Yeah,
the Seahawks going to look for a different option? I don't know. Like, probably not. I think he's earned the right to be a starter for a few years now. Like, we've seen much worse quarterbacks start at this point. So,
yeah.
but it's
But
something.
will he have earned the respect of semi-professional podcaster like myself? Like, if they get is the common man gonna go, hey, Sam Darnold, that's a bona fide top 7. I'm putting him right next to fill in the blank. I don't know, whoever you
Jalen
want to
Hurts.
go
I
with.
don't know. Sure. Right. Because,
Above Jalen and next to Joe Burrow. Like, am I putting him
yeah.
in that? I don't know.
I mean, he
I don't
turned the
know.
ball over a ton this year. That's obvious. He still had the ability to throw the interception as good as anybody. So, like, that's something that he'll have to fight off, but it doesn't matter because it's not it. And it's to me, the Seahawks offense has been a breath of fresh air this year because we've seen a lot of boring continuity across teams' offenses, I think, over the last few years, where it's like, okay, our most efficient way to not make mistakes and gain yards and score points is the short game, running the ball, RPO type beats and throwing the ball behind the line of scrimmage, and completion percentage is going to be up because it's easy to complete these short passes. And Sam Darnold, the Seahawks, like, nah, fuck that. We're going to run the ball and do play action and chuck it downfield, and JSN is going to be a monster, and, like, let's have some fun with this. And like, I loved watching them all year. They were an absolute joy to watch the entire season from an offensive perspective. Even when, like, Kenneth Walker doesn't get going, damn, like, Charbonnet, is he going to do anything? I don't know. But, like, Darnold was able to connect on big shots all year long, and it was really fun to watch.
Yeah, they were. And you're right. They could have just kind of sat back and let their defense do and run the ball. And yet, as we transition into this game, what I think, and maybe you just kind of dispelled that thought, but what I think is if the Seahawks can run the football, they win this game pretty handedly. It's probably 2 scores. You take the Seahawks, not just the money line. You take them on the spread. If you believe the Charbonnet-less Seahawks are going to be able to still run the ball all on Kenneth Walker's legs. If they struggle to run the ball, I think that's the Patriots' pathway. Like, can you mucky this game up and make it a little gross and ugly? And that's kind of what the Pats have done all postseason long. And can you just keep it close long enough and maybe make Darnold make a mistake or force him into some type of mistake? Like, I think the Pats kind of have that playing with house money type of feel, even though we all, like, it's kind of cliche. It's also very true. Like, you could think you're going to be back there, but you just never know when you will be. But
And the funny thing about that too, Cody, is, like, the tale of these playoffs has been so different for these two teams. Obviously, the Seahawks got the first round bye, but besides the point, they played in San Francisco. I'm sorry, they played at home for both games against San Francisco, against the Rams. Weather, that was not a factor. They looked fast. Like, you watch that Patriots Broncos game in the wind and the snow in the second half, and everyone looked slow, like they couldn't get footing, they couldn't move. It was just a trudgery of a game. And then you watch Seahawks Rams, and has Kenneth Walker ever looked that fast in his life? Like, has he ever looked that powerful? I mean, he always looks good when he's healthy, but,
not
like,
during the regular season on my fantasy team, I'll tell you that much.
right. Like, he looked insane. JSN looked insane. Sam looked awesome. The Rams were flying. Like, the defense was flying. The Patriots, they played the snow game in the second half against in Denver. They also played against Houston at home, and it was frigid. They played against the Chargers at home, and it was 16-3. I think it was also pretty cold that day, if I'm not mistaken. But, like, this has been, like, complete opposite paths of, like, grinding it out. Offenses look like crap. And then the Seahawks are over here scoring 41 and 31 points and flying around the field.
The fact that they could just, now, I don't say that they can do that, but, like, that they did that in that game and gives you the confidence that that's a possibility. That's the scariest thought for the Patriots. That's why, like, you leave that game and you go, oh, they can win this way? Oh, Seattle's the team to pick.
And that's honestly my big thing here, Cody. And let's start, segueing into some thoughts about some picks and some props and some whatevers. Gambling. I like points here, Cody, and that's an easy way to cop yourself out of losing a lot of money in the Super Bowl because everyone wants to bet overs and sharps bet unders, and you hear all this type of stuff. But Seahawks defense is really good. The Patriots defense is really good. They've played a lot of slop fest type games that are low scoring. The Seahawks can do just that as well. I think there's points in this game because I think the Seahawks defense, for as many big plays as they can make, they can be had. And Drake May can connect on the deep pass as good as anybody. I think we're seeing an over on 45.5. And I like some props here along the way for some various players we're going to get into. Is that how you're feeling about this game or no?
Well, the last time I bet the Patriots over in the Super Bowl, I think it resulted in like a 10-3 game or something.
The Rams,
like
the
that.
Patriots.
Yeah. It was it was one of those bets where you go, if I'm going to lose, I might as well lose like this. Like this is at least a story. It was that bad. I don't know that I will touch the total.
I probably won't either. I'm just saying I like the idea of points here.
That's a very generic total too. 45.5 is like I don't know. What do you think? They're like, I don't know. They're like, all right, let's just call it a night. Make it 45.5. Who cares? Like, let's go to bed. So it's like smack dab in the middle of it. But like, as you look into touchdown scores and you see Ramondre Stevenson's plus 145, that tells me that they probably lean towards the under, or they just don't believe in the Patriots. It's one of those two things because Ramondre's been really good this playoffs.
The only thing that I will disagree with on that assessment is the Patriots are a little bit of like a who just scored? Like, you know what I mean? Like they're a little bit of a team like, oh, Booty had 2 touchdowns today. Wait, was that Demario Douglas for 40 down the sideline? Like, and the Seahawks are kind of like, oh, it's Kenneth Walker or whatever running back. It was Charbonnet prior to his injury, really, who was scoring more. But it was like, all right, JSM, maybe AJ Barner. If Shaheed breaks like a massive one, and like who else is scoring for that team? Like nobody. No, literally
Kupp.
Nobody else. Jake Bobo, you said?
No, that's a good one though. I did say Cooper Kupp.
Oh, Cooper Kupp, right.
I saw some of the Barstool guys, pardon my take, had Bobo like any time or whatever it was, like plus 10,000.
Because he just scored recently, it's plus 1,000 for any time, by the way. But he just scored, and his name is Bobo. It's like it's too obvious. You can't do it. You gotta get cuter when you're going in the Super Bowl. You gotta go for George Halani. You gotta you know what I mean? Like I don't know.
Kyle Williams, that's going to be a hot pick at 11-1.
And DraftKings is doing the King of the End Zone for a $4 million pool. For that.
With how many people bet on it, 4 million sounds really nice.
It's not.
There's gonna be so many people betting on it that. It's
and
like
everybody who's available, people are throwing money on. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like Jake Bobo is not going to be the least bet person on this list. Like,
like that first week or so of like January where the gym is completely packed. Everybody's back because it's their New Year's resolution, and the people who go to the gym all year are like, get out of here. I can't wait for you to leave. I'm feeling a little snobby as a gambler where I'm like, stay out of our King of the End Zone. You weren't here with me in week 1. You're not allowed to be here now. Let me get a slice of $4 million. You try again next year in September. I'm feeling a little snobby about it.
That's a phenomenal analogy, Cody. And they may have been here in week 1. They weren't in here in week 7, week 12. Right. That's where the real gamblers go out to be amongst each other. You know what I'm saying?
Are there dog days of the NFL season though? Because with the Sundays, like once a week, I don't think there is a dog days of the NFL.
If we're talking casuals, and I'll say that with a little extra emphasis, there is. Like there are totally people who load up DraftKings and FanDuel, et cetera, in week 1 and go lose $100 and like I'm done for the year. Like I know it sounds insane to people like you and I who
like, what do you mean?
we bet Sunday, Monday, Thursday, and then find anything else on Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday. But like that is real for some people, and people are firing up the sports books on Sunday. Like I'm pretty sure every Super Bowl Sunday around like 30 minutes before kickoff, it crashes.
Yeah, like, and then I text everyone. I'm like, log into DraftKings.
Yes, we
could get $10 out of it.
But we're getting sidetracked here, Cody. So let's do this first. We're gonna save our sides pick for a little later. Let's start off with some simple stuff here because if you're like me, which I know you are, you're throwing in a few touchdown scorers. You might throw in a little touchdown scorer parlay, if
No
you
question.
will, as well. So let's start off with the fun, simple, anyone could put it in, touchdown scorer props, Cody. Do you want to give me like 2 or 3? Is that how you want to roll this? Like, what do you want to do here?
Sure.
Because
Yeah.
I think we should go like 2 or 3 each here of who you like.
All right, I'll put it this way. If I'm going to do a straight bet on a touchdown score, which is not a very typical play of me, but Super Bowl, I'd go Ramondre, just who I said. Plus 145 is a really good number. He's been really good this playoffs. He seems like he's in that good graces of Mike Vrabel. He's the one he seems to trust right now, despite his earlier fumbling troubles. So I like Ramondre plus 145 on DraftKings to score anytime. I think AJ Barner's going to be a pretty sexy pick.
Yep.
I'm going to throw Stephon Diggs
push.
in there. I'm going to go Stephon Diggs. And then I would say JSN. I think JSN is the reason. I think him and Kenneth Walker to me should be closer to the same type of odds than a minus 195 to minus 110 with how good JSN's been this year. So JSN and Ramondre could be a nice little tag team duo pick. And then if you're trying to get fun, maybe a Stephon Diggs is thrown in there.
If you do JSN and Ramondre, that gets you to plus 360 right now.
All right. I was going to say which is pretty good.
Which is not bad. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to share my DraftKings screen here. So anyone who's watching on YouTube or Spotify can look along here. Let's do bang right here. Share. Look at that. And Cody could even look along with me here if he sees it on the screen too. So that's pretty fun. What I'm going to throw out here as well is I think the Drake May rushing touchdown is going to be a relatively square play, but it's one that I love. I don't like this. Who's it going to be for the Patriots? Is it going to be Hunter Henry, Diggs, Booty? Mac Hollins would be the name that I love from a value perspective on that list. Because I think he's as active as anybody, and he showed it when he got back healthy last week. But a Drake May rushing touchdown at plus 280 feels lovely to me. And 2 of my $5 fun guys that I did throw in last Sunday is Cooper Kupp first touchdown. And I also threw in a Mac Hollins first touchdown. So those are 2 $5 fun guys. You can get Mac Hollins at plus 2,500, which $5 would pay you out,
$25,
$130. So like that's fun to me. I'm here for that. But from a regular perspective, I agree. JSN minus 110 feels really clean, and it feels like it's a perfectly fair. If not, you're winning the odds getting it minus 110. But Drake May rushing feels really good, and Mac Hollins is a guy I'm targeting.
It's that Drake May, because I one of my things through the playoffs has definitely been looking at quarterbacks' rushing yards. They just simply take off more often. I'm not going to sit here and say that the books don't account for it. And with Drake May's rushing line up to 38, it's screaming, hey, we took account for it. Like, we're moving this line up. But, like, even if you wanted to, like, let's see what Sam Darnold is. Super low number. I just feel like quarterbacks are a little bit more ready to run the ball. So, like, if you want, if you're
goddamn bourbon bowl, Cody.
If you're feeling frisky, Pete, and you want to go 7+ Sam Darnold at minus 115, and then you can ladder him at 10 plus 137, 15 gives you plus 258, 20 gives you plus 412. We can see where this is going. Like, you can go all the way up to take him for 40 rushing yards, Pete, which he could do in 2 plays. And that's 17 to 1.
If you're doing 7 for Sam Darnold, you best do at least 15. Like maybe and probably 20. And then
watch him end at 14, but yeah.
But listen, that's what you have to do. Like we don't make the rules, Cody. If you like the Sam Darnold at 7 because you think like he's gonna have to take off to the goddamn Super Bowl, if he has a lane, he's taking it. He's getting 15. Like, you know what I'm saying? And he can move. Sam can move.
Can I say this? If you're going to do 7 rushing yards, you should be looking at his rushing attempts instead, because of the fear of the kneel down at the end. If you're thinking it's just going to be 7, give me 3+ rushing attempts at plus 101 then. 3 kneels downs gets that for you. If he falls forward somewhere, I know he doesn't do the tush push, but if you're looking at 7 rushing yards, I agree with you, Pete. You don't think he's getting very far. Take his attempts instead.
Surprisingly, AJ Barner not an option on the rush attempts, which is
Yeah, but
he is their
George
push guy
Holani is? Why is George Holani?
because he's their backup running back. I think he gets under that number. I like Holani, if anything, on the receiving prop. If we're gonna start getting funky here, George Holani, if you like him, you got to take him on the receiving prop because that's one catch for Mr. Holani, 11 yards.
You can tell if you're watching that this is the first time I looked at it because I just saw JSN's lines at 95 plus receiving yards.
Yeah,
and of course everyone wants
to
take him, but it just sucks. It's like, damn it, I have to do it. Again, we don't make the rules; you just have to.
Let's circle back here and organize a little bit here. So just to recap a little bit, Cody likes the JSN Ramondre type of thing. You're leaning towards a little Stephon Diggs. I like JSN as well. I'm leaning towards a little Drake May rushing and some Matt Collins action. I think if you want to get frisky with it and really just go out of left field, somebody with really big odds, like then you start looking at the Bobo. But again, that's going to be a super duper chalky pick. It just is. If you want to be part of that juice of everyone winning on Bobo, if he scores again, I'm just letting you know right now, a lot of people are going to tell you Bobo. I'm not going to be one of them. Demario Douglas, interesting, but Trevion Henderson, Cody, let me call him out for a second because he is a guy who can be a game changer. We've seen him do it. He can turn a 0-yard run into a 50-yard run. Is he a guy that you'd be interested in playing in any way? Touchdown, first touchdown, 2+ touchdowns, or anything, rushing attempts, rushing prop, something like that.
I think I'm so far in the Ramondre camp and kind of have been for the last couple of weeks that if I'm taking a Patriot running back, I think I'm just going to keep it to one guy, and I think I'm just a Ramondre guy this week. I really have been, and I want to stick to my laurels on that. And as we've talked, I just created a nice 4-leg parlay. But go give me I want your Trevion stuff first, which maybe I'll be swayed into.
Here's my thing on Trevion, right? If you are going to go into the Trevion Henderson basket, right, and you're going to start pushing his buttons, you have to go all in. Again, I don't make the rules, Cody. So if you're going to say Trevion Henderson, you expect him to break a massive run, right? Which is almost the only way he's going to score, right? If he's scoring, it's most likely going to be a 10+, 20+ yard run at minimum. Because once they're inside the 10, it's Ramondre's turf. It just is. He's earned it at this point. It's Drake May's turf. He's earned it at this point. So if you like Trevion, which I probably will throw this in, $5 fun guy style, you go with the plus 5,500, 2+ touchdowns. You go with Trevion Henderson for Super Bowl MVP. And I'm like, that sounds stupid. And it sounds like I'm making a bit right now, but I'm just saying it's kind of like his version of a ladder. Okay. You're not going to ladder Trevion's rushing from 35 to 45 to 55 to 65. Maybe you will. Perhaps you should. If you like him to do something special, because if he scores, it's going to have to be probably special. You throw in Super Bowl MVP, which I'm trying to find here on DraftKings as I'm speaking.
Okay, let me try
you throw in Trevion Henderson, Super Bowl MVP. That's what you do. And why can't I find it? Game props?
I think we had this problem last year, Pete. Trying to find the Super Bowl MVP. I'm like getting deja vu.
Super Bowl. What do we got?
Novelty.
Super Bowl. It's not novelty.
Oh, here you go. If you go right into the beginning, Pete, right at the beginning, Super Bowl LX, and it gives you it. Trevion is 75 to 1.
More bets? 75 to 1. So at that point, like, again,
he's the ninth, tied for ninth longest odds or shortest odds,
and that's where he should be. Like, honestly, because he is the type of guy that can make the game a Trevion game. He can do it. So if you're going to throw him in for any time touchdown, sprinkle in $5 on him to win MVP or to score 2 or to get 80 yards rushing, like something crazy. That's my take on a Trevion of the world.
As we now kind of shift into MVPs, and I agree. Like, if you're going to take the guy, just go all in on him. Again, I'm probably not going to join you on that. I might not join in on anything Trevion related, and I would like to give my little SGP in a second. But now that we're on MVPs, if you like
which I still can't find, by the way. Yes.
You're doing great, sweetie. If you like Seattle, there you go. Is that it? No? Why would it be?
No.
Is it easy enough to just say, I don't want to take the money line. I don't love taking a 4.5 point spread. I get plus 115 at the quarterback to win the MVP. Do I just take Sam Darnold to win the MVP with the same type of unit that I would take the spread with, say, or the money line even, if I liked Seattle? And then you could kind of cover your own butt if you'd like, clean that up, and just go, you know what, I think the next best odds with JSN, I think it's either Darnold, JSN, or long shot. Like, it's hard for a running back to get it. It's really, really hard. And unless Rashid Shaheed has it's possible, I get it. I'm not saying it's impossible.
The way Kenneth Walker just played.
Right. Do we expect Kenneth Walker to bring that back-to-back games too? Like, do you expect that he's going to have that level of production? Because it's kind of what it takes. And if we were to make an MVP of the last game, even though Kenneth Walker was that great, would it still not have been Sam Darnold? If we did an MVP of the NFC Championship game, wouldn't it have still been Darnold?
It still would have been It still would have been Darnold. Yeah.
So,
Cody, am I dumb? I still cannot.
Pete, I'm watching you do this. I'm losing my mind because I just, when I went back to it, it's the literal first thing I have. So on my screen on my phone, it says Super Bowl LX, then touchdown scores, novelty props, etc. And yours is just slightly different, and that's the only thing that you've needed to be way off from sharing your screen on that.
It's in novelty props?
No, it's not. Like, let's see if you can see on my phone.
I'm on my phone too. I can't find it.
Like, right in the beginning for me, it says Super Bowl LX. I don't know if you could see it.
Yep. Click it.
And then right below the game line is the Super Bowl MVP.
Nope, not for me. Not for me. Not for me. It's TD scores, Cody. TD scores. Whatever. Who cares?
Imagine I was actually looking at the touchdown scores, just not able to read, which not really wouldn't be surprising. But yeah, I think
let's lock in.
I think if I'm going Seattle, like I think I just kind of talked myself into it. This is what I would do. I don't love taking. I'm not throwing whatever amount I need to make minus 238 work for me. I don't gamble that way. Minus 4.5 is maybe a number I'd still touch. Maybe I'd even go alt spread if I like Seattle that much. But I think I'd rather take the Darnold MVP, and then I think I'd back it up with like a slightly less unit. You know, if I wanted to put $20 on the game, so then I threw Sam Darnold MVP for $20, maybe 25. Then I maybe throw 10 on JSN to win the MVP, and kind of say, all right, those are my Seattle picks. I'm pretty dang sure one of those two is winning.
That's basically your Seattle money line pick.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, I like that. And I've been a big proponent of that. Like when the Chiefs have been in the Super Bowl, I'm just taking Mahomes MVP at minus 125 instead of Chiefs money line. And like usually it's pretty good. Now, I meant to ask you this earlier, Cody. When you hear numbers, like historical Super Bowl numbers, I know Cousin Sal was throwing them out there. Like, no, in the last like 7 years, or 10 years, or last 7 teams that have been 4.5 favorites or more, they're 2-7 overall, and 0-7 against the spread, or 0-9 against the spread. Do that historical side of things like hit you at all when it comes to Super Bowl? Or are you like, nah, new game, new thing, I don't care about that stuff?
I tell you, I think the more important one was that no quarterback with a name under 5 letters has ever won the Super Bowl. I mean, how are we supposed to believe in Drake May knowing that hard-hitting evidence? I wouldn't say I just completely throw it out, but it is completely different teams. So that one in particular that you named is the best one, because I was literally driving to work this morning listening to it, and it did make me go, oh, okay, all right, that's interesting. It makes you think about it, but no, it's a new game, and I just, again, like, I really don't want to let the wave of 2 weeks sway my opinion that I felt right after I finished watching the game. And again, my opinion was Seattle's better. They're the better team. That's the side you want to back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and I want to find my way to do that.
All right, so let's lock back in here and really hammer some specific stuff here for the next couple minutes. So you mentioned you have an SGP that you're cooking up here, so let's hear it.
All right, it's 4 legs. It's right up my alley. You can use your boost if you'd like, which of course I would on this. So I got Ramondre Stevenson for rushing and receiving yards at 70 plus. So that's an alt line. Rushing and receiving 70 plus.
I'll get there.
All right, this is.
I don't usually do this on my computer. So
there's so many options on the computer.
off-putting.
It's like such a nightmare to look at. I'm like getting annoyed looking at it.
Yeah.
Then I got Drake May 30 plus rushing yards. I got Sam Darnold 2+ rushing attempts, right? Because we just talked about that, and I think that alt line of just 2 rushing attempts for Sam Darnold, which is like a -200 number. And then I took JSN down to 6 receptions rather than go with the alt yards. I'm just thinking he's heavy in the game plan. I know they're probably going to have Christian Gonzalez try to shadow him. I don't know that anyone really can. So I'm going to go, I think right now I'm thinking JSN 6 receptions, but by game time that could be instead like a 70 plus receiving yards. Like I'm between the two, but I know he'll be involved. So right now that gets me plus 390, and then boosted would get me plus 507, which again, that's the type of parlay that I look for.
And that's the type of thing, like, and not that we need to tell people how to spend their money, but just the way you and I tend to do it. Like, this is going to be one of your bigger plays, if I had to guess, right?
Yes,
like
this will be like a main type of play.
Right. Like on Super Bowl, one of my favorite traditions that I do is I get a nice big piece of computer paper or a notebook or whatever that I have available at the moment, and I write down everything I have, all my numbers for the different boxes I'm in, every single bet that I placed. It is absolute insanity, but I have it I don't have to keep opening DraftKings and opening my phone for 4 different screenshots of Super Bowl boxes and da. I put it all out there. And like, this is going to be one for me, if I had this type of play in, that's like up top main place.
Maybe it's highlighted.
Not the $5 fun guy. It's like, it's a real bet. And that's something that you feel decently confident in. You like all the legs. Obviously it's still plus 390, but it is something that you're going to put a little juice on and not just throw like $5. You're going to throw a little something.
Yeah. Well, we'll still have our 10 to 1s or 20 to 1s. They'll be in there. Sure.
Right. So let me do similarly to you on a play like this, because I'm going to be doing very similarly in that regard. So I'm going to go right back to the well here with my Mac Hollins receiving yards here, and this one's going to be a little bit more assertive, Cody. I'm going a little aggressive. The players that I like, again, when it comes to the Super Bowl for me, if I like a player, I'm going for the player. So a lot of times in the regular season, like, I would go, Mac Hollins number is 28. Let me get him at 20 or 25, right? No, not today. We're going 40 plus for Mac Hollins on this number. He's a guy who I think Drake May looks for. He has the big playability. We just saw it. He bounced back from that injury. He looked great. He's on the field all the time because he blocks all the time. And he's just a guy who I'm targeting to go over his line. I'm looking for 40 plus from Mac Hollins. We go over to Drake May. I'm going to go right on your wagon here as well. And I'm going to go for 40 plus from Drake May, especially with this concept of the shoulder, perhaps not being in full strength. The run will be in play for Drake May, 40 plus. I absolutely love it. On top of that, we're going to go to passing props here. I think our man, Sam Darnold, is going to pass the ball with pretty great success here against the Patriots defense. If anything, I'm fading Kenneth Walker. I think the Patriots' run defense is more so the strength of their defense. So I'm going 250 for Sam Darnold. That is plus 140. I'm already at plus 1,000 here. Now, what I would probably do is say plus 1,000, put a boost on that. But guess what, Cody? These boosted picks typically need 4 legs. Golly. So now I'm getting really assertive here. It is totally how they get us, because honestly, this is a play that I'm going to put in at plus 1,000, but I probably would consider throwing in another sort of prop or something else on this front here. And that's where I just go with Mr. Consistency, one of the best receivers in the NFL. And I go JSN, and I'll take him at his line, give or take. I'm going to take 90 yards for JSN, because if Sam Darnold's throwing 250, you best believe that JSN's getting 90. And I think those two go hand in hand nicely. It only gets me up to plus 1,200. But it's a nice lay that I love. It's a little more aggressive than your play there, but this is a bet for me that's like, this is going to be my big bet of the day. $25 is going to win you something special. And you're going to feel real good about it. That's my big concept there. It's 25 to win 325. So 25 to win 300 basically with your odds boost even more.
Yeah, so this is the type of play, Pete. Like I put down that one that was plus 390 before the boost. Then I'd look at something like this, and I'd probably bring it to another book because FanDuel loves to limit me to like a $10 max, where DraftKings, 20, 25 at times for the boost.
Yeah.
So this is the type of thing I'll bring over to FanDuel. I'll check what the odds are over there. I'll probably get a boost and probably get a slightly better odds, and then I'll take it over there. But like, I will absolutely have a $20 parlay like I put together, or 20, whatever I choose. Actually, $20 because that's the max of that boost that I saw on my
for the boost,
account. Yeah. And then I'll put something like this in, and then it's a $5 touchdown scorers parlay. Then maybe one more that's like a lot more, 2 or 3 legs of guys that you just don't see. 5 to 1, 7 to 1 combo.
Yeah.
First touchdowns are going in.
Halani receiving will be in a parlay for me. I guarantee it. Halani receiving. I'm a big fan of that backup. Look at this. You can get Halani at 15 plus. That's plus 124. Put that in a same game parlay. You're going places.
Yeah, I mean, Kenneth Walker's going to have to come off the field at some point.
And I'm actually checking right now in this Rams game here where Charbonnet was out for the entire game. What did Halani end up with? I have it here. Halani got 3 carries for 4 yards, and he had 3 catches for 27. If that's not what you want to hear about George Halani, I don't know what you want to hear.
He's something that I say. No, this is the thing, Pete. Like, I threw together one that's a main, like the 4 guys are going to be on the field. There is no question. There is not the gamble is not will they be playing, will they get time. The gamble is, are they going to stay healthy and are they going to reach these numbers? But then you could throw in someone like him or even a Matt Collins like you did, or like if you like, I don't know, Mario Douglas or maybe like Kayshon Boutte, and their numbers are low, so you can therefore buy their number up to 40 plus receiving yards, 50 plus, not an outrageous number. Collins. Right, but it might take 1 to 2 plays to do, even though you're not exactly sure what the playing time is. Like, that's just a separate play to me. You know what I mean? I don't want to add that into the play that has the more, not sure things, but guys I feel more confident in. But I'd have a different play of 2 to 3 guys where I'm like, I don't know exactly what I'm going to get, but it could happen. And that's the fun of gambling, when you talk yourself into those things.
Yeah, I vibe with that mindset, to be quite honest. So I'm here for it. What else you got for me? What else are you thinking about on getting some stuff down here on the action?
Well, Pete, anyone who's been listening to the two of us for however long knows without question there will be first touchdown scorers thrown in. I love them. You love them. How am I not going to do
Great
them?
Fun.
You know, the one thing I never really do, and I always say, I got to do that, is last touchdown score. Because that's kind of electric in and of itself. Like, at any point in the fourth quarter, it could be the last touchdown, or even earlier. That's kind of so I might have to look into throwing in that in some capacity. First touchdown. This is where you get fun. This is where, like, I bet Rashid Shaheed is going to be a pretty common pick for first touchdown. All right, here's a fun one, because I've won on this guy before, Pete. I've already mentioned his rushing attempts. What if one of them just gets him right into the end zone, and Sam Darnold takes off from like the 7 and scores on a rushing touchdown, which we've seen all year long with quarterbacks, whether it's first or just any time. But they've been taken off at an all-time clip. He's got some wheels. 35
and he
to
hasn't
1.
done it this year, Cody. It's very strange.
That's why his rushing attempts are 2.
Yeah, right. When he has been a lesser quarterback, he was more prone to take off because he just needed to do something for the offense, right? But because he's more comfortable as a passer now, he doesn't really do it, but he can do it. And that's why the 3,500 number for him first touchdown is fantastic. Even plus 800 for him to score at all is pretty fun, if I must add.
Yeah, why not? So, Pete, what do you got for me?
I threw in for first touchdown Cooper Kupp and Matt Collins. So Matt Collins, obviously, I'm just all over in general, but Cooper Kupp, I think, is a great first touchdown play because he feels like a very schemed guy at this point. Like JSN is the focal point. Kenneth Walker, obvious. Cooper Kupp is the second guy. I mean, maybe AJ Barner, if you will. Like Cooper Kupp is the guy who just runs a super crisp route in the red zone, and all of a sudden he's wide open in the corner. And that's why I kind of like the concept of Kupp, because it's almost like JSN is a decoy in this spot, and Kupp's going to be wide open. And I like the Kupp first touchdown for that reason.
Yeah, I mean, and he was a focal point in last week's game, and who knows? Like this could be Cooper Kupp's last game for all we know. Like we don't know exactly what.
True.
So those little pieces always kind of play a part. The leap from Ramondre to Hunter Henry, or even AJ Barner, like is quite the leap. It's really, really intriguing because Ramondre 850 is really good odds for a running back, the number one RB, to score the first touchdown. I mean, that's a really, really good odds pick.
I mean, these odds are telling you they think the Seahawks will score first.
Right. That's exactly what I'm seeing. AJ Barner at 12-1, like those are the types of plays that, again, I'm going to want to have fun with like a Sam Darnold, like I said, but I would want to have a very realistic option, and those three. I would say that 3-pack of Ramondre, Hunter Henry, AJ Barner are really, really fun ones. ASN for 2? Oh gosh, see now we're thinking, Pete.
Plus 550 is like just doesn't get me out of bed for 2 touchdowns.
I have to throw not more than I'm comfortable putting on a first touchdown.
Right, because like 550 there, all right, that's no longer a $5 fun guy because you're winning what for $5.
It's not that fun. It's not fun enough.
It's not.
You know what you do, Pete? You know how you do this, right? You take first and second. No, you take
first and last.
You take JSN first, and then like I don't know, Rashid Shaheed second, or whoever you like for the second touchdown, and then you do it that way. So instead of just the first touchdown, you take first and second, or something like that.
So right now, Cody, we're at an hour 10. Let's go rapid fire here. I'm going to throw some stuff at you right now, and I want you to tell me if you would put it on. Like if you would look at me and say, "Dude, you're really throwing that," or you'd consider it. The first thing I want to throw at you here is Seahawks first half, Patriots to win the game.
Oh,
so Seahawks leading at halftime, Patriots win the game. The Patriots have been much better in the second half, basically the entire season. The Seahawks do start off pretty fast and strong and, have let some teams hang around here and there and typically have been winning, obviously, this year. But does the plus 1,000 Seahawks first half, Patriots win the game, does that tickle your fancy, Cody?
It definitely does. I mean, that's a fun bet. If you like the Patriots, I think there's a real recipe for that to be the way. Like I said, you mucky the game up, you keep it close early, probably low scoring, and you find a way late. And I think that's a really good way. If you like the Patriots, you don't have to mess around much. You take the money line. Here's a nice one to take, a quarter of a unit and throw it onto. I think that's a fun bet.
Yep. I agree, which is why I brought it up. All right, let's move on to, do you do novelty, generally speaking? Do you do coin toss? Do you do things of that nature or no?
I don't think I did last year. I used to always take heads, and I keep finding out that heads hasn't been hitting, but I swear I've been winning on it. So I don't know. But I don't take too much of the novelty stuff. I look at everything, though. Like, I won't take a scoregami. Right. Quarterback to have a catch probably won't. Like, because at some point you do have to cap your bets, and there's a million things. I like to look at the DK squares, though, I'll say. Because I like to pick my own numbers and just throw a little 5 on this, 5 on that, whatever. So that's kind of fun to pick your numbers, because those of us who have been in a box know, like, when you get 8 and 2, you're like, well, here's your donation.
Cooked.
Yep.
Yeah, right.
So
hopefully it was for charity. So this one annoys me a little bit here, because I do have this idea, and I think Bill Simmons brought this up too, so it's not super original, but Mike Vrabel has a history of catching touchdown passes in the playoffs and big games and Super Bowls.
Yes.
This prop that DraftKings has, an offensive lineman to score a touchdown, it's in play with these two teams, especially the Patriots. But why would it not be like a defensive player or offensive lineman score an offensive touchdown? I feel like a defensive player should be in that as well. Like, yeah, is there a linebacker on the Patriots? I know Simmons brought someone up. I don't know, Tonga. I don't know, whoever the hell it was.
Well, yeah,
like Vrabel has done that. Is there something there?
Right. Could they just do linemen and drop it to like 19-1?
Right.
Could it just say lineman to score, like any lineman, or let's see, is there something
linebacker?
Yeah.
Because part of me is like Vrabel would love to probably get that in somehow, because that's his thing. You know what I mean? Like that's his whole bag. Anyways, on to the next stuff here. Are you a cross sports special guy when it comes to Super Bowl Sunday? Will you throw in an NBA play tied to the Super Bowl?
It won't be this way. Like, I'll tell you what I would maybe do is the Knicks play at 12:30 you mentioned. Maybe I want to have fun and create 6 to 8 legs and, hope to get 3 to 4 of them out of the way with the Knicks game early and then combine them that way. That's a possibility. But probably won't do it like through whatever they give me. I'm like, I'm better than you guys. I'll create it myself.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
I'll do it on my own. Right. I'm a man.
I agree. All right. This is one that's interesting to me. Do you see a return of the Mac, as DraftKings call it? Mac Hollins have 2+ receptions in each half, plus 700. I know I'm obviously all over Mac Hollins. Anything there?
Those are fun. Like the each half.
I usually don't touch these if I'm being honest, but like
it's not something I look at. But now you just again you got me looking, hunting and hooping, creative names. I mean, I'll give them that.
Yeah. There's one that I'm looking
Ghostbuster,
for now.
Ghostbuster, that's electric, dude. It's kind of disrespectful, but that's also a great name. Oh. That's really good.
3 passing touchdowns or 1 rushing touchdown feels like it should be higher than plus 220.
It's them screaming to me, don't take him first rushing touchdown. He is not running one in.
Plus 220 is low, I thought.
I'm going to do it anyway. Yeah, no, them just
screaming to do it.
No, I'm just saying like them adding in that one, like they don't need to add in the 1 rushing touchdown. Why'd they add that in there? Why'd they do that?
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
What are they trying to
feel better?
What are they trying to do?
Now, special team props, Cody, there's going to be it down here somewhere. I got to find it here. Do you believe in a kick return touchdown or punt return touchdown? Will there be a kick return touchdown plus 2,200? Will there be a punt return?
One I've never done.
Rashid Shaheed, obviously. There's not a punt return touchdown in here. That's kind of stupid. Sorry, I know you're looking at my screen. I'm just scrolling feverishly, but I'm
looking at my own screen now. I'm just listening to what you say, and then I'm going to it on my own screen because after we couldn't find the MVP odds, I just didn't want to rely on this anymore. I couldn't do it.
Right. Yeah, it's fair. All right, most receiving yards. If there's someone if you had to pick someone from this prop pool here, who would you pick?
Okay, well, you just don't take JSN in this. It's just like there's no reason to bet on that.
You just at that point you just take JSN's.
Exactly, you do exactly
at a better number.
So the question is, who of these guys could eclipse that? Like, who could eclipse JSN? How about Pete? I know you're all over one guy. Now you're going to see how all over one guy I am. How about 30-1 Ramondre Stevenson? Just gets it going in the backfield. He's caught some bombs. He's had some like 75, 80-yard receiving games. Oh, man.
This one's actually kind of fun. Most rushing yards. I think that the argument is obviously going to be for Drake May or Trevion. I think Ramondre at 255 is interesting. Like, that's pretty decent number there. 255, but if there's a world where this is kind of a low scoring game and no team can kind of get it going rushing the ball, Drake May plus 550 is live.
Yeah, why not, right? I mean, I think that because I've heard a lot of the Trevion buzz, like before even Simmons said it, before you brought it up, I've heard people actually kind of whispering the little, just because I think the odds are so, I don't know, sexy for lack of a better term. Like they're just like, oh, dude, if he just breaks 1 or 2, and that's what Trevion's been. He's a really good back. I just my eggs are in the Ramondre basket, so I really like plus 255 for Ramondre Stevenson here. Like
Yeah,
the
it's kind of nice.
30 to 1 to lead the receiving is kind of a little bit like probably not. To lead the game in rushing yards, 255. I like that.
I like it. I like it too. I like it too. All right, this one I found on my phone. Why can't do that? I can't find this freaking play now, and I saw it on DraftKings earlier, and now it's pissing me off here. But basically, there was a bet, and I hope I find it while I talk through it here. But it was either Sam Darnold or Drake May throw for 250 yards, and it was even odds.
Okay, let's see if I can.
And like I was like, and I cannot find it for the.
Oh,
for the
here you
life
go.
of me here.
I got it at minus 163 for 250.
Oh, it was minus 163. Was it 300? Maybe was a
plus 126 if it's 275, and then 235 plus 235.
maybe it was 275 that I was looking at. Yeah, interesting to you. You think somebody really can sling the ball in this game or no?
I think I'd be more. Well, I think that's a good way to take. Because my first thought is I would take just Sam Darnold on that, and then I'm thinking, well, how about that possibility that the Seahawks are up early and the Patriots are throwing a lot late, and Drake May gets to it that way.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, I feel like pretty good here. Pretty good
I just like that we walked through this, Pete, because I needed to see a lot of this, so I don't feel so overwhelmed
that's the goal
on
here.
Sunday.
That's the goal
which
here.
I always do.
Lean some people in some ways that we like, give out some bets that we like, and learn a lot along the way about what we want to do on Super Bowl Sunday. Cody, it's time now, though. It's time. What is the spread play for you on Super Bowl Sunday?
I'm going to stick to what I've been saying. Not that you will play it,
but if you had to do it, yeah.
Yeah, I'd go with the Seahawks to cover minus 4.5. It's an uncomfortable number. It's a little Vegas zony, right? It's just I think they're the better team, and I think I see more likely of an outcome that they can win by double digits or even more than for the Patriots to keep it close. And I think if you're taking the Patriots, you want to take the money line.
Yep. Took the words right out of my mouth. If you are a Patriots backer, you're taking them plus 4.5 and you're taking the money line. If you like 4.5 here, you have to believe that they can win this game. You have to.
Exactly.
And like,
it's like a rule of thumb for me, actually.
That is a major rule of thumb in general, but especially in a game like this, in the Super Bowl, et cetera. Like, if you like the Patriots, you take the spread and the money line. That being said, I'm trusting my instinct. My gut has told me since I watched both of these teams all year long, the Seahawks are the better team. They're more talented. They have more high-end players. And the Seahawks minus 4.5 would be my play, reluctantly, because I do believe the Patriots can win this game, but I'm betting that the Seahawks win by 4.5 and win the game outright, obviously. I think at the end of the day, their defense makes just enough plays to keep it tight for New England, and their offense is going to move the ball. And Myers might kick 3 field goals or 4 field goals, and they score 2 touchdowns. I tend to believe that there's going to be a handful of touchdowns in this game. And I think that style of play is going to lend to the Seahawks' speed and the Seahawks' ability to make big plays happen very quickly. So I like points. I like the Seahawks, Cody. I mentioned the players that I like, and I can't freaking wait. I can't freaking wait, my man. I'm excited.
Yeah, always is. And then the one thing we did not mention, how about a correct score of some sort?
Oh, I got you. I got 2 of those in already.
Did you? You're the best.
Yeah, those are ones that I put in the night of the championship game. So I put those in. I put 2 in, $10 each. One pays $1,100 and one pays $1,600. Cody, I have Patriots 26, Patriots 21, Seahawks 26, and I have Patriots 27, Seahawks 34. So both of those have Seahawks winning the game with a decent bit of points. Seahawks 34, Patriots 27 was my favorite. I actually wanted, and I'm curious if it's there now. I remember I wanted 34-28, and for whatever reason on DraftKings, it was not available, Cody. And that pissed me off because now I feel like it's going to happen and I'm not going to win. But that was a number that I was looking at.
That is, what are they trying to tell us, Pete? I mean, we're always trying to analyze. What are the books trying to tell us? I can't
Right?
see now. I'm in the mode of like I can't find. Is it game props?
It is game
There
props.
it
Scroll
is.
down, and there it is.
Oh right. Oh, this is way better than they used to do it.
Yeah,
Oh,
now I could
cool.
change this. It wasn't like this
You
last
could
week.
change this so easily. DraftKings, well done again.
See, look at
All
this.
right.
Some of these are locked, Cody. Now 34.28 is available, plus 1,800. I'm going to have to take it now.
They're listening. Let's see. What if it was 27-19 Seattle?
7.19. I like that. I like that a lot.
So we'll have to do one of these. I mean, you just have to. I've won one before.
You have to throw it out there. I've won it before as well.
Yep.
Absolutely same. I absolutely will keep chasing that. And when I hit it for $500 or something like that once before. So
and the real like feeling should be like, all right, I'm probably never going to do that again. But instead, it's like, it's once a year. I'm going to try it every year.
That's so good. So good, Cody. I can't wait for Sunday. My brother is smoking some tomahawk steaks for Sunday. And I am excited to eat that and drink a Guinness, maybe 4, maybe 8, maybe 15. Over under 6.5 Guinness is the line. But if you were a betting man, would you ladder that? 4,
I would
6,
because
8, 10.
Here's the thing, Pete. Like I know myself. Sometimes when you hit the certain number, that's it, and it truly just flows after that. And so if you're gonna take 7 rushing yards, you're gonna take 20. If I'm taking 6 beers, I'm taking double digits, no question.
Yeah, and you know what? The what helps you in this case is that we're starting the festivities on Sunday around 1 or 2 o'clock.
Or 12:30 Knicks.
Well, that's for sure. But I don't know if the Guinness first Guinness crack, if it's 12, let's say the Knicks tip off 12:30, is the first Guinness crack over unders at 1 p.m. for me. So
that's a good question. See, I don't want anything to do with that.
And it's probably after, if I'm being honest, just because if I'm not leaving my house until 1, 2, 3 o'clock range, 2 o'clock probably, I'm probably not cracking one at home while taking care of my son, when knowing that I'm going to be drinking the rest of the night and my wife has work on Monday. So I'm going to have to push that for a little bit down the road. And I still like over on 6.5, but
I've decided how I'm going to bet this. And it's a live line, Pete. It's such an obvious live line. It's so clear because you're going to start late, so the books are going to be a little thrown off. They're going to drop your number down. Oh, 5.5 at -130. Oh, I can get 8.5 now at 2-1. Boom, done. Lock it in.
Yeah, you see him slow down. You see him slow down at the
like, oh no, the tomahawks are ready. The tomahawks are ready.
The steak comes out. Might even have to have a glass of wine like a gentleman while I eat my steak.
Oh, the line froze.
Yeah. Why can't I bet this anymore?
Is a glass of wine like when you take a guy's 3-point total instead of taking his points, and he gets fouled on a 3, and you're like, son of a damn it. That doesn't help me at all.
The wine line's instantly 1.5 now too, so you can quickly get to 2 on that. Now I'm hammered. It don't matter to me. Oh man, Cody O'Connor, this is a blast. Just as right on cue, an 1.5 hour podcast. What else could we do? We did 30 minutes on the NBA and an hour of talking some props, picks, and parlays with the Super Bowl. How else could you do it, Cody O? Love to see it. Look forward to talking to you again soon. Diving into the NBA as we really, really get to do now soon. And more sports stuff right here on Subway Sports Talks as always. Any last words, Cody O?
No, Pete. Good to see you, buddy. Mets are coming up soon. That's what I do in the 2-week span. I get excited about baseball.
Love that. I love that. Love that. Love that. All right, man. Good stuff. Talk to you soon. Don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review on your podcast app, on YouTube, and follow us on socials at Subway Sports Talk. That's TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter. And I said YouTube, Subway Sports Talk. And that's it. That's all we got. We'll talk to you soon. Happy Super Bowl. Cheers.